Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe I was Blackrue investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting. So we binge on that Blackrue investing. Best believe I was Blackrue investing. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. Thank God for that Blackrue investing. Best believe I was Blackrue investing.
My bad, y'all. Got the mute off. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Blackrue back again. Matt, sorry about that. Let's get into it here. What's up, Crypto Talk Now? My guy Max. There we go. We're live now. I just shared a video in the Telegram of Max's on Jasmine. Real good information, Max. You're the man, my guy. Definitely go check out Max, My Crypto Talk Now. Does some of the greatest content. My guy over there. What's up, Stacking Satoshis? What's up, Eve? What's up, Ace? Let's get into it, guys. So we know the upcoming eclipse is coming. Okay, May 5th and 6th, lunar. Looks like it's penumbral, I think is the way you say that. But at the same time, we have the full moon and this waning moon that comes right after the full moon. They tend to be bullish, okay? So we have little conflicting things here. Just so you know here, the last lunar eclipse, November 7th through 8th, that was the FTX debacle, okay? Corresponded right with this lunar eclipse, okay? So possibly this lunar eclipse could be bearish, but possibly it could be bullish because we got this full moon energy, and I'm gonna zoom in and show you exactly what I mean about that, okay? So last time there was a full moon. The full moons are the blue ones here. Right after that, we have bullish energy. Full moon, bullish energy. So you can see here too with the little spikes as well that there tends to be some action around the moon times, particularly new moons and full moons. Okay. So that's just what it is. Okay. So let's just zoom out here so I can show you guys. Whoops, we went on the wrong chart there. How far? Okay, here we go. This is how far back we want to go. So 7th and 8th, you can see here that was the FTX debacle. Crash Garuski there, right? And that also corresponded with a new moon. Crazy enough, right? And you can see here a couple different times where that new moon energy was bullish for Bitcoin. Okay. So directly after that new moon energy, we've had like bullish times. So we shall see here. So basically for me personally, what I'm doing is I'm going to wait to see what's going to happen, of course, right? And if it ends up being bearish, I'm going to dollar cost average. That's what I'm going to do, because we all know the real goal is out until Bitcoin halves. Remember, the last time Bitcoin halved was, let's get rid of our moon phases just for a second here for clarity. Last time Bitcoin halved was around here, May 2020. And then a couple months afterwards, here in October 2020, we got some bullish action, right? Now, I've already shown you guys how the bull cycle before this, it took longer for that bullish action to happen. So here coming up in this next halving, we may experience this bullish action even sooner than, so October minus, October's the 10th month, -5. So it's probably going to take less than 5 months for us to get this bullish action coming up here soon, right? But the point of what I'm saying is the next Bitcoin halving is in 2024. So that's really when we're really waiting for. Okay. So doesn't matter, like if we go down here, we can just dollar cost average. However, if we end up going up, if we're just checking precedent, and we've talked about it on here a couple times before, if we can zoom in on this little part here, you can see there were 3 kind of bullish humps, right? 3 bullish humps. And this was a year before the halving, just like we are in now, right? So we got 2 bullish humps here. So I'm anticipating we get a third. Could that be right after this eclipse? Possibly. And then we just, slide in until the next halving, right? We continue a little slide down after that bullishness. We shall see. Okay. But what we do know is usually Bitcoin reacts to eclipses and 2 moon phases, and both of which we have coming up right now. Okay. And we've shown you that with the moon phase calendar, May 5th, May 12th for the waning part. And with this here, eclipses in 2023, lunar 5th here. Okay. Let's see who we got in the house over here. Odd, what's going on? Bro, I'm about to go live. Wish I caught you sooner. I would have sent you a link for tonight. Hey, bro, if you're still on, maybe I'll hop on with you. It's my guy, Dion at NYC. Odd app. Done a couple collaborations. Love this guy's work as well. What's up, Crypto in Focus? Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? So, yeah. Back to so send me a link, bro. If you're still on, I might hop on with you. Clip season dies down after May 5th. Yes, it does, Ace. Completely right, my man. Let's go back here. Not until October do we get another, and that's a solar eclipse. So, and what happened here with the solar eclipse, we ended up being bullish running all the way into it, but the day of the eclipse and like after we went bearish. So we were bullish all the way running up into it, which we can go back and look at. Let's turn off the moon phases though. So So where was it? Right here. So we went from like April 8th all the way up to the 20th. Like very nice bullish time. And then when the 20th hit, it was just like, okay, downward. Yeah. So, and here we had another bank failure. Let's bring up those articles here. First Republic Bank failed. So, as an American, this is kind of a hard time, right? Um, I don't know if you can trust like the bank systems other than like JP Morgan, Bank of America, and like Goldman Sachs, right? Yeah, and everything that the BRICS nations are doing, getting off of American money, just doesn't give you that much confidence in the American dollar right now. So we'll see. I think Jerome Powell speaks on the 3rd or the 4th coming up here. So we'll see what Powell has to say and how that affects the market. But yeah, man, another bank. So this is like number 3 or 4, right? We had Signature Bank. We had Silvergate. And I think there was one other bank in there. So, yeah, man. And a lot of them were crypto on ramps. Now, there's a little bit of iffiness with Signature Bank. Some people say Signature Bank was still solvent, but they closed it anyway. So that's really suspicious. I might do a conspiracy and crypto show on that because like that's really suspicious. So it's really suspicious. So yeah. But on the same note here, guess who's going to buy this bank that is failing? Any guesses before the article comes up? Let me see. Let me see if anybody has a guess before. Hope nobody saw it. I'm so long on the inverse Kramer. Me too, bro. I can't believe they actually made that an actual ETF, bro. Yes, JP Morgan Chase, crypto and focus, 100%. So, of course, the money men behind Ethereum would come in and buy this bank. Okay. So, JP Morgan Chase and Ethereum are looking very, very good for the next American currency, whatever it comes into, whatever that kind of CBDC ends up being. Ethereum is looking well in line to be very, very good when that change does happen, when that reset does happen. So notice JP Morgan Chase, their people, we've been on it over so many times on here. Check out so many videos. We've been over so many times how Ethereum is the money man behind how JP Morgan Chase is the money man behind Consensus, which builds Ethereum. Okay. So yeah, Ethereum's just cementing its place in the future of American money. Okay. So I know we don't talk too much about like Ethereum being a play, but if JP Morgan is going to be leading all these banks, Ethereum is going to be a play, right? So yeah, that's something to consider, right? Let's see about some of these questions here. How valuable would ISO 20022 be if G20 is in trouble? Now, see, that's a good question there, Courtney Johnson. That's a good question. But what you have to understand, and I'm going to get to all of these questions. If somebody asked something earlier, I will get to it for you. Thing you got to understand is if you make all the tea leaves back to the World Economic Forum, right? They're controlling the whole kit and caboodle. They're controlling G7. They're controlling the G7 countries. They're controlling the BRICS nations too. Who has the biggest stake in these BRICS nations countries? Ripple. Ripple has the biggest. Like, they're involved with the most banks in the BRICS nations countries. They're also, like, they got a deal in place with Bank of America, right? As soon as the regulation or whatever the U.S. decides, right, is over, Bank of America is going to partner with Ripple. And it makes sense, right? If their rival company, if Bank of America's rival, JP Morgan, is already working with Ethereum, then they're going to partner with the other guy, with Ripple, right? So yeah. So ISO 2002s are linked in with all of it because the World Economic Forum is behind all of it. So they're linked into every one of them. Again, Ripple linked in with the BRICS nations countries, and Ripple also member of the World Economic Forum, right? Right? JP Morgan does frequent stuff with BlackRock. BlackRock linked in with World Economic Forum via Larry Fink being on their board. It's all the same people. Remember, we talked about R3 Cordia. R3 Cordia is linked in with Quant, linked in with XDC, linked in with Ripple. All of those. So sooner or later, what will happen is the switches will be turned on, and then all of those ISO coins, let's bring up some of them. All of those ISO coins will just be what the currency is, right? Or they'll be like the world reserves, right? Give or take, right? Let's see. I'll bring up this list because it'll make our talking a little bit more focused here. So you'll get to see all of these coins, and all of these coins have major World Economic Forum connections. Okay, there we go. So Hedera, Stellar, Ripple, Quant. So we've been over how Stellar is involved with the U.S. Commodities Futures Trading Commission, right? We've been over how Ripple is tied to all these Saudi Arabian banks, Australian banks, Brazilian banks, all these BRICS nation banks. We've been over that. Quant is the one who stays like kind of silent in all of this, but they're connected with R3 Cordia. They're connected with Alliance Block. So they're in connecting everything, right? They're connected to the World Economic Forum. They're connected to LCX, right? So all of these guys are linked in. And we already know Ether is with JP Morgan. XDC is the settlement coin for R3 Cordia, and R3 Cordia is basically connecting into all the banks' clearinghouses. So yeah, that's going to just be how it works. Looking forward for our stream. By the way, and that reminds me and Dion are going to go live on Thursday. Believe it's on his channel at 6:00. So be on the lookout for that. Live Thursday on Dion's channel. Me and him are going to go live, talk about state of crypto, a couple other things. Okay. So Yeah, that'd be nice if we can have a bunch of people on, Dion, if you're still around. Let me know if you want. I know a couple people that might want to come on. Peace, brother. Faircoin, good vibes. We had Luna 6 months later, FTX, and now it's been 6 months from FTX, so expect something. That's a good point, Ace. That's a good point, bro. That's a good point. Wow, that's a good point. I wish I could pin this to something else. That's a good point, bro. So maybe we do see something and we see the market go down even more, right? Hey, I'm ready. Packing my bags, bro. If something else does happen and we go down to like 24, 25, oh boy. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. You could call First Republic failure after Kramer said they were a buy 2 weeks ago. Straight up death wish. Kramer, it's amazing that he does this. And people swear by that man. They swear by him. Like, it's funny that he said for Rona, right? For Rona, he said that there was that people needed a propagandist. It's funny that he said that for Rona, they needed that. He was talking to his boys on the set, telling them that they needed a propagandist for that. But that's exactly what he is. So it takes one to know when one's needed, right? He's their propagandist, and you know, straight do the opposite of what he says, and you're golden. It's sad. It's like, and people really, really believe in him. Like, it's just a sad thing, bro. It's a sad thing. Yeah, long on the inverse Kramer, bro. It's just sad, bro. They just out there like purposely losing people's money, bro. It's just a sick thing. And people like so many millions of people watch him. It's so crazy. Okay, yep. That's the chokehold they've been trying to. You know what? This is so. This is so true. Check out the Gentleman of Crypto. Shout out to my guys King and Zay. I think some recent exchange. I think it's called Bybit or something. Instituted KYC, and and King was like, you basically now you just basically should just go on Coinbase. Like, there's no on ramp that you can use out here right now without doing KYC and getting your stuff taxed. There's literally no on ramp that you can use in the US to do that now. And as much trouble as the US dollar has been in, our US dollar is still strong globally. Like, if I wanted to go to, like, say Taiwan or Thailand or Colombia or something, my dollar is going to stretch very nice in these places, right? So it really, really makes sense that they want to tax us, right? They really want to tax us because our dollar can still go a long way. And then other countries, I'm not sure if they can afford as much crypto as we could, as far as like the citizens go, right? So they only want 4 big banks so they can shut down all the small banks and push their CBDC narrative. That seems pretty accurate to me, bro. That seems pretty accurate to me, bro. It makes it very easy to track what's happening that way. Makes it very easy to push, a CBDC. Makes it very easy to push Ethereum, right? Makes it so much easier to do that. Makes it just so much easier to tax you, right? What has Litecoin done in the previous halving? Let's take a look. Last halving, I think Litecoin was at 150, which I think it'll really crush that this time. Okay, let's just go. I don't want perpetual contracts, guys. This is good. So last Litecoin halving was right here. So it's always a year before Bitcoin's. So it went up to $150. I don't know if that's what I said or not. $160 actually. So that was the high. And it happened like a month before it's halving, because it tends to have around August. So it popped off early, a couple months early. So June, that's 2 months earlier. You can see here it had passed $100 for a second and then pulled itself right back down. So let's see. Maybe we're in this kind of phase with it. Maybe we get a little bit higher than 160, maybe like 180, 200. We shall see. But let's see, April. So it's pretty much on point to do at least the same thing. Yeah, it's pretty much on point to do kind of the same thing. So sitting here, that would be almost a 2x, right? So yeah, seems like a good price if you want to just like not financial advice, but it seems like a good price if you want to try to, quickly, if one would want, well, let me put it in my terms. I think it's a good price for me if I wanted to double up my money right quick. That might be something to consider for a play in June, right? To get some Litecoin right now and see what happens. Let it go in June, and then buy back in, beginning of next year or end of this year, right? So seems like a decent play. Seems like a decent play. I'm glad you brought that up, Ace. I'm very bullish on ETH for many reasons. Mainly, it's already labeled a commodity, and it's a smart contract king, 100%. By the way, that is also true for Litecoin and Bitcoin. The Commodities Exchange Commission labeled Bitcoin, Litecoin, and ETH commodities. So great info, Ace, as always. Yeah, ISO 202 is just a messaging standard. However, it is just a standard. However, it seems to be something that the people that are in control, they're not worried about. Like Charles Hoskinson, he didn't seem too worried about getting to the ISO messaging standard. He talks crap about the World Economic Forum, but yet LCX, all they did their first 3 months of their launch pad was launch Cardano projects. So he's clearly in with them in some way, shape, or form. What's up, Nerd Up Inc. Marv? And you can see the coins like Corium and all of that. It looks good on them to have that ISO standard, right? So it's just a nice to have if you're talking in like job requirements. Like they'll say like your requirement, your nice to have. If you got that ISO 20022, it's really nice to have in the whole crypto spirit things. Uh-oh, Cash App. Honestly, I feel like USDC is going to depeg to zero. Sounds crazy, but not impossible. I think USDT has things going on with Bitcoin, and I think also USDT has things going on with the digital yuan. So I think USDT will be straight because they have other things going on. However, USDC is the World Economic Forum coin. That's the one. It's their type of coin. That's the only stable coin that LCX has on this platform. But I don't know if you caught a couple days ago, we were reading about the digital yuan and how Tron has its digital yuan. That was backed by Tether. Tether also had their own digital yuan stablecoin connected to it as well with Alchemy Pay. So I think Tether is okay. I think both of those two at least will be okay. At least those two. Why not stay in traditional finance if you're going to root for traditional finance? Oh, you're talking about the 20022? Because I think that all currency has a finite life to it that goes into some woo-woo stuff that goes into like alchemy and stuff like that. And basically what it says and what has been done is that, excuse me, most currencies have a 100-year life cycle. The American dollar has gone through its life cycle. And I think that the people in power know this. They know that the American money has gone through its whole life cycle. You got to check out some of my videos on Rokfin about the whole hermetic principles. Okay. We're going to get a little bit into that right now, y'all. It's important to explain the point. So with hermetic principles, it says everything has a principle of rhythm. Okay. With that principle of rhythm, okay, and the hermetic principles, you see patterns. Like this is very rhythmical, right? This that you see with this happening. You can see here that it looks like a triangle. That's a rhythm that has a symmetry to it. So the American currency can only be the top dog for so long, and that time is coming to an end. They know it. They know this principle of rhythm. They know how to use these hermetic principles. So they are moving traditional finance to digital finance. This is them making the moves. It's them who crashed the dollar, right? It's them who put Rona into effect, right? And printed all the stimulus checks, right? So they know this. So that's why not traditional finance. It's a longer story than that to say, but those are the cliff notes. Due to the principle of rhythm, they know that the dollar is going to fail. So they're already moving to the next system to replace it. That's the long and short of it right there. I trust USDT over USDC. I feel you. USDT has been through so much fun, still standing. Yeah. I think they got good stuff going on with the digital yuan, and I think they might be the ones that get in there with the BRICS nations. Yes, BRICS is next up. It's just next up, and I think companies know that. They've been known that, right? Case in point, that's why we see a company like Veo. Remember I showed you guys that? Veo Labs, right? This is built on Stellar, right? They said that they're trying to get together with Visa to get into Asian markets. Why are they getting into Asian markets? This was in November 30th, 2020. Okay. Why would they be getting into Asian markets? Because it was already known that this was going to happen, right? It was already known. It's already known that China was going to do what they're doing now, and China and the digital yuan was going to move into its spot in the world currency place. So much so that Visa and these guys are partnering up together. Not some like fly-by-night company, Visa, right? Working on payment solutions in Asia. So it was already known. They saw the writing on the wall 2 years ago. Yep, and the British pound ruled for about 100 years, right? Then we moved over to the American dollar, and Britain was there. They were there as part of like Bretton Woods, right? They were there. Roosevelt and all of them. Britain was there when that happened. So British pound had 100 years. American dollar had 100 years. Now it seems like it's the Chinese yuan's turn. It's their turn for 100 years. And then they'll move on to something else. This just goes on to the Hermetic principles. I'm telling you guys, listen to and read the Kabbalion. The principles are so simple, but they're really profound. Really profound. It really lets you know how people run game. To put it bluntly, it'll really let you know how people run game. So it's just not the American dollar's time anymore. Every fiat money system has eventually failed. 100%. 100%. And you guys, 100%, you guys are smart guys. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every fiat money system has failed. And it just goes into those Hermetic principles. Everything has a rhythm, up and down to it. Yeah, literally up and down. Like there's also a Hermetic principle about polarity. Like opposites have two sides. There are only half truths, right? We get that all the time. Democrat, Republican. Rona Jaworski or no Jaworski. BLM or Blue Lives Matter, right? Who's really in control there? The people who are making the choices, right? There's this old axiom, guys, that goes like chocolate or vanilla, choose. Like, which ice cream are you going to do? Chocolate or vanilla? Who has the most power there? Let me see what you guys are going to say about that. Who has the most power there? What is it? Chocolate or vanilla? Choose. Let's see what people come up with here, and I'll go to the next question. Hong Kong banks open up crypto in June. Yep, and we looked at that a little bit a couple episodes ago. Hong Kong banks are going to open up crypto in June. So VeChain, and there's other good China coins too. I gave a list to the patrons, so shout out to the patrons. I will reveal one from that list for you guys. OKX is a nice one. Okay, and we talked about that a couple days ago, right? But yes, in anticipation of what's happening for these Hong Kong opening up their crypto in June, I gave the patrons a whole list of good China coins, and I think I did that last week. Okay, so shout out to the patrons, and see, we got such educated people in here. That's what I'm talking about. And we've already covered this a little bit when we talked about OKX a couple days ago. 100% Kid Graybo. The most powerful person in that conversation, Chocolate Vanilla Choose, is the person who owns, who created the question, right? Because look, maybe I had a surplus in chocolate and vanilla, right? I tell you chocolate, vanilla, choose. I don't care which one you choose because I got a surplus in chocolate and vanilla. I need to get rid of it. All right. Chocolate, vanilla, choose. Hell, what you don't realize when you're so busy, and not you, but anybody personally, what people don't realize is when they give you that whole Democrat, Republican, white, black, when they're having you have that fight, the real winner is them because they don't care who wins as long as they continue to stay in power, right? I don't care if you pick chocolate or vanilla, as long as you get rid of my inventory, right? It's the person who creates the conditions, the person who's making the question, right? The person who's giving the choices out. That's the one in power. That's the hidden thing that is never seen when you're given two options. The person who's actually doling out the options is actually the one that's the most powerful person in that situation, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. 3 companies own all the cereal products at the grocery store. Right, exactly. Just like 5 companies are in control of all the news in the world. All the news, or at least in the US. All the newspapers controlled by 5 companies. So how much can they sway the news if they own 5? If it's only 5 companies that own them, right? And let's even go to other things like YouTube, where 2 billion people are on YouTube. That's like a fourth of the world's population. So their algorithms can literally influence you this way or that, depending on which way they want you to go, right? Same thing with Facebook, right? And Facebook recently got in trouble for that. That they were like influencing people politically in what they were showing. And we already know with the Hunter Biden computer, right? They chose not to show that, right? If you believe in that whole DNR thing, but still, the DNR thing is a big game. But on top of that, right, they didn't show that, right? Ace Filecoin is a go. BTC is a sneaky bit too. Oh yeah, Filecoin. Filecoin is another one of those big Chinese coins. Nice guys, nice. That was also on the list as well. Yes, BRICS nations has been loading up a lot of ammunition. They have like, and I think it was just always supposed to be that way, or they were planning for it to be that way. And articles, things like this show you that they already knew. So they were just getting it ready early. Develop payment solutions in Asia. Because why? Because Asian, like the digital yuan, is going to be soon the replacement for the dollar. And I showed you guys where Justin Sun said, like, the yuan greater than $1. Few are going to understand that. And that was like December 2020, right? So, yeah, these BRICS nations, they're up next. They're up next, bro. They're up next. So, in anticipation of that, I gave you guys I gave the patrons a lot of Chinese cryptos to look at. Shout out to the patrons, less than a cup of coffee. But I did also do an episode where we covered a few of them. Okay. And one of the ones we covered was Filecoin, and one of the ones we covered was OKX. OKT. Okay. So Yes, it's the illusion of having choice. That's the perfect way to put it. I don't thank you, Kid Graybo. Like you give someone the illusion of choice, the illusion that they're on top or they're better. That's all they need. um, yep, you give them illusion of choice. They go around feeling like they're on top of the world, but really you've chosen everything for them. You've made the choice for them. Like whatever you choose, they win. So it doesn't matter what you choose for them because they've set up all the options. Crazily, but that's how it works. We fight for scraps and they just, they make they make all the set up choices. I know a lot of people might listen to that and think, okay, I'm being very bleak. Um, like you can't win off the power of your own work. Yes, you can, but understand too, the people that are in power want to stay in power, and they're going to stay in power because they set up things so that they can, right? if we were all like if we were all like, okay, we're no longer gonna vote in these politicians, we're gonna choose no longer to send our tax money to the Ukraine, and we're only gonna use it in America, and we're only gonna choose non-D or R politicians. That would really shake up things. But nobody would agree enough to have that happen. And that's just how they like it. So let's see here. All right, so no more questions. Okay, I'll be back on here tomorrow for my Gentleman of Crypto show at 6 o'clock, same time. I won't be on mute this time. So thank you guys so much for coming through. Very much appreciate it. I might go over there and go on my guy Dion's channel, so y'all might see me over there if he gives me a link to hop in. But yeah, check us out on Wednesday. I'll see you guys later, and I'll be around on the Telegram for anybody who's watching later here. If you guys want to grab the Telegram link, it's in the description. I see my guy HBCU Maker just said something, so I'm going to answer. Is OK Coin platform affiliated with OKX? Yes. OKX is OKX. Is OKB is the one. Like let's pull it up here. That crypto purchases can resume. Okay. So it's OKB here, and they also recently announced that they were going to be a crypto layer 2. Excuse me, an Ethereum layer 2, and that's why we saw a huge spike in their price. So it's this guy, and they also have one lower supply here, 300,000. Now, if we look at where they were, okay, yeah, they've broken new ground here. And once they said they were Ethereum layer 2, that was all they needed. But they also have OKC, CT, I think it is, or TC. OKT. OKTC. And the guy who runs this, I think it's Star Zoo, XU. He's Chinese. You can see here, Bitcoin like tokenomics here. was as high as 250. So over a 10x here with these guys. Okay. This platform. Okay. Yeah. OKCoin and OKX are affiliated. Yes. I received a notification that crypto purchases can resume. They were halted during Silvergate. Okay, I didn't know that you could trade with them in the U.S., but yeah, apparently, I guess you can trade with them in the U.S. I didn't realize that they were halted during Silvergate. That just goes into what Ace was saying earlier. They were trying to cut off all certain like on ramps to crypto, except for things like Coinbase and things that are their approved on ramps. U.S. dollar demise started with Woodrow Wilson, and it was true. Why do you like them so much? I'm not a big fan of exchange tokens. I'm a fan of them because they do get those little. They can give you discounts on their platform, and they can be incentivized in other ways. That's why I like specifically LCX. And we know who are the people running LCX. But yeah, after FTX, exchange tokens got real flaky, right? For good reason. Yeah, I feel what you're saying there. But I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of them. It seems to be that they go really bullish during the bull markets. So as far as like ROI, I really like them because of that. But as far as utility goes, I agree with you, Ace. Doesn't seem like they have that much utility. So my man Ace makes a good point on that. You guys have to do your own research there and be careful there. What you're gonna do there. But certain ones like LCX, I feel really good on. Yeah, because of who they're connected with. I do like the Eastern narrative. Yes, I do. I'm heavy. I heavily like the whole BRICS Nation narrative. It really seems that that's the way that things are going. Yeah, it seems really, really, really good. So. Yeah, man. I really love exchange tokens because they do get very bullish in a bull run. And I think that might have to do with the amount of money that people know that more money is flowing into them during that bull run. But yeah. But yeah, guys, catch me on tomorrow. We'll be on Agenda on the Crypto and also on my channel. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I'll be on a Telegram, which links are in the description if you haven't joined the Telegram yet. And if you're watching the recording or if you're watching right now and you made it all the way to the end, I very much appreciate that. Much love, Blackrue crew. Peace. I'm out.